All right, guys, so CPAC is over, and I met so many people over the weekend here in Orlando, and the constant theme that kept coming up over the entire weekend was election integrity, election integrity. That's all everyone cares about, and we already know the reason why, because what happened on November 3rd, and there was lots of issues when it comes to mail-in ballots, absentee ballots, the white van in Detroit, and you had states that took a week of counting when majority of the rest of the country was finished in the same day by 7 p.m. So obviously there was a ton of issues. So today we have the first big win in Georgia, or yesterday. The bill HB 531 just passed the House. It's now going to the Senate. So this is specifically for Georgia voters. Or if you know someone that lives in Georgia, you need to send them this video because this bill addresses 7 huge issues and it just passed the House. And I'm just going to read these off. The first issue is it requires voter ID for absentee ballots. Now, the fact that this wasn't already a law, it's crazy. Like, if I want to go drink a beer, I need an ID. If I want to go to the RNC or DNC convention every election year, you have to have an ID to get a ticket, and to get inside. In order to buy a pair of Jordans, they're over $100. They're going to ask for my ID. So the argument that having voter IDs is suppressing the vote is just a bunch of baloney, and it's an excuse for voter fraud. And they've brainwashed people to actually believe that so that they can cheat. It's ridiculous. So the second one is drop boxes have to be inside and secured facilities where an election official is. We had that this past election. Like the fact that you could drop off your vote in the middle of the night without an election official there. It wasn't even a secured facility. They were outside in front of grocery stores and restaurants and an open parking. Like the fact that it was not in a secure location is just inviting for voter fraud. The third thing is it banned mobile polling. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but in Georgia, you had RVs driving in blue counties specifically, and they would register people to vote. You didn't need an ID to vote, obviously, which is why number 1 is being banned. And then you would have them vote inside the RV. So they didn't even have to go to an actual legit polling station or an election office to actually vote or turn in their ballot. So they could literally register to vote right there and then vote inside this mobile RV. It's just crazy to me. Number 4, it banned private funding from third parties, and that's mostly targeted at Facebook because we know Zuckerberg spent tens of millions of dollars on specifically blue counties to get the vote out. The difference in funding from blue counties and red counties, you can't even compare, and it was a part of the voter suppression. The fifth thing, it banned precinct voting. So you basically could not vote out of precincts. So if you're in a red county or a blue county and your vote is already, your county is already going one way, but you wanted to vote in a different county, you could literally go and do that. And the state legislature never passed that law in Georgia, but the governor and the lieutenant governor allowed it. Why? I have no idea. Number 6, it requires a much shorter timeline to count these ballots, which obviously we had Georgia that took like a week to count when you had states like Florida that was done by 7 p.m. When you go past the 24-hour mark of counting ballots, it's just an invitation of fraud. And this is a big issue that needs to make sure that is on this ballot. And the 7th thing is it requires security paper for paper ballots. So basically each ballot is verifiable and you know that it's a legit ballot. So these are the 7 things that it addresses. If you know someone in the state of Georgia that lives there, call them, share this video with them, and tell them to call their state senators because this bill just passed the House, HB 531, just passed the House. It's now going to the Senate. We need Georgia senators to pass this bill so that in 2022 and 2024, we have election integrity and we can trust the process for elections again in America. Remember, speak truth without fear. Love you guys.